Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to show the new blade that we just put on. And what will happen is I'm going to turn this dial. This is attached to a 3 horsepower motor, so it's going to be quite a bit to turn it. I've got a safety pin in here right now. I'm going to lift it up a little bit, pull out the safety pin. And what we're looking to do is, this is where the paper, you wouldn't want to put your hands through here in case it actually spun. It would cut your hand right off. We're going to let this drop, and that's what would be holding the paper in place. So now the paper would be frozen in that spot. Okay, the next thing that normally happens, now I have the pusher bar removed. Pusher bar is over here on the floor. And it weighs 85 pounds. I can't pick it up by myself and place it on the machine. So what I need to do is I need to get some help with that. So I'll do that tomorrow. So the modification that I wanted was right here under this there's a little blade. And now the way I have this thing set up, it's below the surface, but before it was only going up about 1/4 inch. Well, that didn't seem like it was enough, so that was what this whole modification was about. As you see it was only raising to about here. Now, what I ended up having to do was I bought another blade and I made another blade, but unfortunately there's the gap between the space that's in here and the thickness of the blade is probably only like 2 or 3 thousandths, so the new blade didn't fit. So I had to take the other blade out. I flipped it over, and the notches were in there, and I just didn't use these notches. I used a shorter notch, and that's as high as it was going before. But now we're going twice as high, probably just a little bit more than twice as high than what we had before. So because it's going to go twice as far up, that's about 3/4 inch off the table. What that should do, hopefully in theory, is it should pull more paper in. And as it's pulling the paper in, it's going to raise it up off the table so that when the machine comes to press, this will already be out of the way. This only goes up for 1 fraction of a second. It'll already be up in a loop, and it will just push up against this bar. And that's how it actually works. The paper, it's raised up off the table, sort of a loop, and then the pusher bar comes up and just squishes it up against this bar, and that's what forms the pleat. Then this bar lifts up, and then the pleat has a kind of a tendency to fall this way, and then this blade being tapered kind of scoops in behind it and pushes it over that way. That's how the pusher bar blade works. So we've got that all set up and done, and I've got everything underneath here back to where it goes. So we've got the cams on this side, and we've got the cams on this side, and they're all back. Everything's back in order, and we're going to, I'm not going to run it tonight. I'm going to go home. It's like 9 o'clock at night time. We're going to go home and we'll come by tomorrow. And next door is my neighbor. There's a gentleman over there that can help me to lift that pusher bar up and put it back up on the machine. So we'll test it tomorrow. So that's what we're going to be working on. All right, so I think we're pretty much done, and I'm hoping it works. I kind of have pretty good confidence that it'll work.